Smoke is quieting down. Seems like we've got to a lot of the smoke. Dub, you got smoke?
All right, y'all. So I know you guys have already heard the story about Joe Budden sleepwalking in Edgewater and getting the lewdness charge. And I'm pretty sure some of you guys are aware of the court date that he has coming up. And we don't know how this is going to go or whatever, right? But I've been on spaces a lot lately. And last night, QueenzFlip through a Twitter Spaces with none other than Miss Jones and Rocky Thunder. Now, it was a crazy lit discussion as always, but one topic really stood out to me. QueenzFlip admitted that he feels like being on the Joe Budden podcast comes with its own set of challenges, particularly when it comes to friendships. He said he believes being friends with people hinders him from doing certain types of content. Now, this is an interesting perspective, especially in the realm of podcasting and media, where the lines between personal relationships and professional obligations can get blurry. Now, Rocky Thunder took that moment to press him a little, asking, Is this the reason why you won't speak on Joe Budden's recent incident in Edgewater? And honestly, that's a fair question. Flip's loyalty to his friends seems rock solid, but it's starting to look like it might be stopping him from reporting the news, even when it could be a major story. Now, here's the thing. Flip could speak on the situation, but he could do it tactfully. He doesn't need to be salacious or negative about it. He could simply report the story, frame it in a way that shows Joe Budden will overcome it, and remind people that situations like this often blow over with time. People are going to joke about it, sure, but that's the internet, right? Now, interestingly, Flip also admitted that some people think he's misusing his own platform. Now, it is his own platform, so who is anybody else to say that? But I do get what they mean. And while I understand his position, he doesn't want to capitalize on a bad moment for his friend. It's worth asking if that loyalty is one sided, right? Let's keep it real. When Flip got arrested going over that bridge, Joe Budden turned that into podcast content without hesitation. Whether it's Flip's arrest, his behavior, or any situation, Joe doesn't seem to hold back. In fact, Joe seems to believe that everything, good or bad, is fair game for content. So here's the $1 million question. Should QueenzFlip continue to be so nice and loyal to Joe? Or is it time for him to dive into a little mess? Now, I'm not saying he needs to go full crazy on Joe, but at what point does holding back hurt him as a content creator? The fact is, people love transparency and they tune in for authenticity. If Flip stays silent on things people expect him to cover, does it put a chip at his credibility? Now look at the files.
Y'all, me and Cam spoke after we had a long talk, and I understood where he was coming from. He understood where I was coming from. He said, "Yo, I don't want to interfere with your job." Cam had called me when him and Joe was going up at it and asked me for something, and my response to him was disrespectful. Like, nigga, who you like? Why would you ask me that? Like, I responded like that to Cam, and Cam responded to me later on was like, "Bro, like you was so I never disrespected you. You could have just told me, yo, Flip, yo, Cam, nah." Like, I hear what he's saying, but
Mm.
he was
But
like the
that's
way
your
you
level of loyalty, though. That's who you are, and you would have done the same thing if it
for
was in
him,
the
yeah.
reverse.
He was saying that, yo, you know, I had people around, and the way you talked to me like that, I never talked to you like that. And I did talk to him away, but I was just so surprised, like, nigga, wait, what? What you want me to do? Nigga, no. Get the fuck out of here. Like, nigga, you crazy like that, talking like that. But he said, yo, Flip, I never talked to you like that. Like, nigga, you could have just said, yo, this is my like I get it, man, but I
But he
still
was
felt
caught off guard.
yeah. So that led to certain things, and it's just that it being on the podcast and having friendships, you can't do it. I feel like you can't have friendships to be in a podcast. The
Well,
type of content that we do, I feel like you
So
can't.
let me ask you a question. Is that why you won't address the Edgewater situation? Are you willing to talk about the Edgewater situation or let that come to pass?
I wouldn't talk about yeah, I wouldn't. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, that's exactly why. And people, the news cycles call me. I don't want to get into that, but I'm just saying they like. They say the same thing like Flip, you crazy, man. Like, but I'm not crazy. I'm not I'm not
You have a
addressing that.
line.
Just
You
make
He has a
sure, just
line
make
and he's not
sure,
willing to cross.
Yeah, I'm not, that's not me,
right, and
right?
just make sure that it's reciprocated because I don't want you to wake up one day like, yo, I left this opportunity, and these motherfuckers won't even pick up the phone when I need
But I don't
something, or
depend
there's a
on them.
break.
See, that's a
I don't
different
think
thing.
it'll ever
It's
be
it's
that
not a,
because
it's not
he's
a depend.
self-made. He's self-made. He's not a clown that's dependent. We've seen those clowns that don't have their own thing to stand on that
Right,
wind up
right, right,
flip-flopping each way. He ain't like that. He ain't
See,
come from that.
right.
and
Yeah.
that's the trick to it. You're right, Rocky, right? Like that was ill. Like you right. And when I was doing Flip the Script podcast, right? Like
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna give you an example. I was doing Flip the Script podcast, and we were trying to interview celebrities, and a lot of celebrities wouldn't come on because of one, my personality, two, my videos that I was doing at the time, grabbing people, busting into places. They're like, nah, we don't trust that, and three, we heard you friends with these niggas and we don't know which way you coming from. So what I did is I interviewed the Bloods. Well, I interviewed Bimmy. I interviewed Bimmy, Supreme call from prison. Yo, take that part down. He said about me. I didn't want to take it down. Supreme guaranteed me an interview. We went to the studio. Supreme called up. We didn't do the interview. We had a conversation. Webb called me. Webb said, no, Nitty. Nitty called. I said, I'm only taking it down if Webb and Nitty call. Nitty called, you got to take that down. Okay, cool. I took it down because my loyalty to them. Boom. Bimmy, in turn of taking the video down, he got me to interview the Bloods, Soul B. By interviewing Soul B, it opened up so many doors. What I'm saying, the reason why I said that is that I was able to open up a lane just from different relationships and certain marketing strategies. So I interviewed all the Bloods, then I interviewed the Latin Kings that had beef with the Bloods, then I interviewed everybody on Rikers Island, the Captain Bailey, who was the warden at the time. Like, so I always find a different route to stay afloat without using those type of relationships. That's the point. I know I was going on a tangent, but that's the point I was trying to make.
So you need
Like,
to remember that at the end of the
and,
day,
and-
you came in on your own and you're gonna always be able to stand on your
yeah,
own.
I'm standing my own. Yes, yes. So me, what I'm saying is that with situations is like the Edgewater thing. People ask me, "Yo, what's up with it?" But I can't. That's my man. Like I can't. Yo, even I can't say it now. I'll tell you behind the scenes. But niggas called me and asked me about these things to talk about it, and people are offended that I won't talk about it. But that's first of all, Joe's my man. Second of all, I work for him, right? And I don't, that's not my style. My style is not to just, I don't give a fuck about, it's none of my business. But they think that I'm misusing my platform and misusing my voice but not speaking on it. We're talking about big media companies. Yo, you should speak on it. But why? Why y'all trying to get me to speak on it? My voice, nigga, like, and I rather, my ego's so big, I want y'all to speak to me about me, nigga. Don't just come reach out to me about somebody else. The fuck type of nigga you think I am? I don't like
Right.
that. I don't like that. Oh, speak about your man, nigga. Why you don't speak to me about Flip? Yo, Flip, we heard this or we see this. Like my ego too
Right. We
big.
see you got this and this going on. Don't just call me when you trying to find out something about somebody else.
Yeah, yeah,
Call me
yeah.
when I got going on. Yeah, you're right.
Exactly.
But you know what? But you not Rocky. This is not my first time hearing. Like I heard that what you said. Like people asked that, and I guess this media shit is difficult, man.
Hmm.
Like with my way of thinking, it's not difficult to do, but my
That's
form of
because you're
thinking.
not of the industry. You are a talent that happens to be moving around in the industry.
Mm,
And
mm.
there's a difference. And again, unless
Not
people
yeah, you because you hold me down all the time, Jonesy.
and I will never change.
I hope y'all enjoyed that clip. But I was thinking about something, right? And Joe Budden speaks on his family issues, things that his mother may not want not to be aired, his dad may not want to be aired. He's even said on the air that, when I went to my family dinner or my family reunion or whatever, they told me, Joey, you shouldn't be saying that. You shouldn't be doing this, doing that. So his family even has a problem with him just outing things and saying things that happened to them. So what makes it that Queen's Flip is just so good and he's not going to talk about, what's going on right in front of him? This is like prime time content. Now, I want to hear from y'all on this. Do you think Queen's Flip should speak on Joe Budden's recent incident, even if it's in a respectful way? And do you believe Joe Budden would do the same for Flip if the roles were reversed? And where should the line be drawn between friendship and professional obligation when it comes to content creation? And this is a bigger conversation, more so about loyalty, integrity, and how much is too much when it comes to putting your life and your friends' lives on display for the world to see. Right? Now, drop your thoughts in the comments and let's have a real discussion about this dynamic on the Joe Budden podcast. Does Flip need to rethink his approach, or is he playing it smart by keeping his friend's business off limits? All right, let me know, and we'll be back with the files.
My guy Dub too. That's my man though.
Gang gang.
That's my man, Big Dub.